we're talking about what's eating you. Talking about what's eating you.
Proudly brought to you by Rogers Hood Apothecary.
Welcome, everyone. We're hopping on here to talk about mold and parasites, answer any questions that you have for us, anything you want to know about health and wellness, any questions you have about cleansing. We are here today to answer them, to let you know, obviously, all the big news and the big things happening in the hood, and also what's to come on what's eating you in the future. We're really excited and have a lot of plans coming. So ask
Yeah.
us your questions. Definitely need to detox heavy metals and parasites and colon cleanse and all. Yeah, everyone does.
We're
I'm about to share.
accumulating all of these things in our body. So what we're trying to do by teaching this knowledge to you is that give yourself a little bit of a break. It's in constant fight or flight because it's constantly trying to push these evaders out. It doesn't understand because there's some of them are new to us as a human body. And
Right.
so the more we move, the more we cleanse, the more we do red light, the more movement we get, the more red light we do. I mean, it's a constant thing. And I think that as humans, we kind of get lackadaisical, and that's when we are the easiest to pounce on. And over the years of me talking about all of this, I realized that there was a moment in my life in 2016 that really pushed me to be more chronically ill. And it was the most stressful moment I've ever had in my life. We lost 3 grandparents in 2 weeks. And that was like my immune system got lowered. I was
Yeah.
really just in a lot of stress. And then all of a sudden, bam, you get chronically ill. But if I had been continually in movement and cleansing, and they wouldn't have been able to,
Modalities,
yes,
all of the things, right? Well,
yes,
because you're making yourself a hard target, you know?
yes,
Like Bishop always tells me all the time, like going out into the world as a woman, when I'm out there, you know, in the jungle, and he's like, don't be an easy target, never be an easy target. And the same goes for all of these environmental toxins. Don't make your body or your environment an easy place for these things to thrive. Like Kim
yes.
always says, make your body inhospitable for them to use you as a host. If they can't set up shop inside of your body, then like you are way better off. You're way more free. You're way more sovereign in your mind and your emotions and your health. And that is the whole point. And that is what we are pushing and getting the word out
Mhm.
about, because these environmental toxins are out to get us, y'all. For real. Like
They
that's
are.
what they are. And the fact you broke it down in our mold episode that we dropped, thank you so much to everybody. Like this episode is moving. People are really responding to it and resonating with it. We dropped an episode all about mold, and Kim breaks it down like parasites control you and mold brainwashes you. And people are like, what? And the fact that these are alive organisms as well. It's not like these, you have to think about them like that. And they're hardwired to survive just like we are. And
Hmm.
so the fact they will use you as a host, you're part of the ecosystem, you're part
Hmm.
of nature. So of course, anything in its path, it gets in and on and continues to grow.
Mold wrecked us. Like, I
Oh,
know I'm known as the worm queen, but I feel like people just don't really think about how they can affect the body, right? Environmental toxins. We're the perfect host. And I think over the last 2 years of me really intensely cleansing and trying to move the needle, we're there. But mold was the hardest. Mold was the hardest thing that I had to get rid of. I know worms were difficult, but like, mold was the most difficult.
well, I think part of that, the process, right? Like worms, like, okay, the video you went viral on TikTok for, you're
Mhm.
literally saying it. Dead carcasses everywhere. Okay. So parasites and worms, you can see them leave. Not everyone does.
Mhm.
We know this now, but I've seen a lot leave. Kim's seen a lot leave. And you can see this, like mold. It just seems like it's way harder to get
Yeah,
out of the body, right?
it's really in there. It's
Mm.
really in there. I've seen mold leave my body. I've seen like weird things on my poop that are fuzzy. And when I've looked it up, there is just
Mm.
not a lot about it out there. But mold avoidance did good for me for a little while, but it's hard for people to comprehend because you can't see internally what mold looks like. And I state this all the time: flip your body inside out, and it's going to look like the wall that has mold on it,
Mm.
because it colonizes the same, whether it's in your body, which is moist and wet, and it just
Mm.
keeps thriving, or it's what you see on the wall. They're the same thing.
Mm.
So I just think that it's something that we just have never really been told that is a thing.
Mhm.
Now, you've done MolDeze. Did you like it,
I
Sam?
haven't done MolDeze yet, Kim.
Okay.
Uh-uh. The one time I attempted to start it, my body was like, girl, we are not doing this yet. Not now. We don't have the time for this. And I was like, oh, is it gonna be like that? So it was rough, but I'm absolutely gonna do it, no question. But nope, haven't done it yet. Started, my body was like, we're gonna need some space for this one. I was like, I'll come back to this. Noted. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's the one tincture. It's that MolDeze tincture because
Mhm.
you take Immune and Recover, but when you
Oh
add
yeah,
the
all the time.
MolDeze
Oh,
in, oh,
interesting.
wild.
Interesting. So it's the
Yeah,
herbs that's in
it's
that
the
one.
herbs. Yeah, it's when you combine Schizanderberry and the fennel because fennel goes in and snuffs it out, and then the Schizanderberry goes in and sweeps it out. So it's a combination of the two herbs
Mhm.
together that go in and then you boost it. But like if you have parasites or Lyme or the mold or all of them, the fennel goes in and kind of acts like a little bit of a bully, and I think that that's why people have a harder time with it is because it does go into your body and act like a bully. You know, it's like,
Mhm.
I'm better than you. I'm going to go in and I'm going to bully you around.
How you worded it, like that it actually brainwashes you. What an intelligent organism on its own that it like has the ability to do something like that. And it's because it wants to survive. So
Yeah.
we break it down in the episode. You talk about what a mold hold is, on what
Mhm.
it does to your brain. It actually convinces you you don't have it or it's not as bad as it really is, like so that you'll stay in it so it can continue to grow in
Mhm.
you and on you and use you as a home. And it's like just so wild how you break it down. And you guys, please go tap into our mold episode. I want you guys to all hear her full story because she even breaks down how they found out they had mold in their bodies and in their travel trailer. What really tripped me out when we were editing this episode, and I totally forgot this part of your story until we were editing, I was like, oh my gosh, did you hear that? How you researched the mattress you were sleeping on.
Years
Can you
before.
tell that story a little bit? Because that is crazy.
So anyone that does live on in a travel trailer needs to be conscientious about all of the things I'm saying because that's really where the mold took a hold was in a travel trailer because of the condensation. But it was in February of 21, and now I know that while I was getting off my Klonopin and I was living in the mold, that zapped my brain, and that's what caused me to have the mini stroke in
Mhm.
21 at the beginning of the year. And when we realized something was going on with me, Jeremy and I were looking around at what it could be. And I came across an Amazon review from this mattress. Our mattress had slumped in and it was a travel trailer mattress, but it was a foam mattress. So, all of you that have any sort of foam mattress, listen up because it wasn't just because I was in a trailer. It just happened to be that I bought a travel trailer foam mattress like a Tempur-Pedic, and the sweat with the condensation in a metal box creates mold in my mattress. But this company in particular has a lawsuit about the mold in the mattress. And so immediately Jeremy and I pulled the mattress up. We looked at the mattress and it was covered in black mold.
That part.
It was
That part to me.
covered underneath in black mold. And when we took the top of the mattress off, we had like a mattress cover on it, but not a waterproof mattress cover. And because we were living in mold, we were sweating more at night than normal. And so Jeremy had sweat, and his side was just covered in mold because of his sweat.
Yeah, and also location, like that is a humid area. You
Yeah.
are on the edge of a rainforest, so just so many components and factors
Yeah.
went into that whole point in your life and story and journey. Being out on that land, man, all the things that happened on that land were literally a catalyst for you doing what you do today. And we talk about this all the time, and you're always like, I am meant to do this, like obviously. But
Yeah.
you had to go through all of that. You
I
had to be
did.
out in nature, infested with parasites and worms and mold, so
Yeah.
that you would become the worm queen and get the word out to millions of people to let them know, hey, there are these things that America did not get the memo about. Just to make you aware, if you have any of these symptoms, you could possibly have any of these environmental toxins living in your body and using you and causing you harm.
Yeah.
And honestly, we break it down in the mold episode. You even say something so huge in that episode. I say, are you saying that the root cause of most autoimmune disease is actually environmental toxins? And you go, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's huge because I know people personally who think their autoimmune disease is just their body malfunctioning. I was born this way. It's just the way that I am, instead of like environmental toxins coming in and creating these petri dishes inside of
Yeah.
people for these to like overgrow and overtake their systems and cause all of these chronic illnesses. If it can be either significantly lowered or gone
Hmm.
just from cleansing, then why would we not get the word out there about all of this and really just tell everyone, like, please, parasite cleanse, mold cleanse,
It's
huge message. And so thank you for being the
thanks.
trailblazer that had to go through it. You really had to go through the
You
fire. Life
did.
really tested you and put you through it. And you not only came out on the other side surviving, you came out thriving, and you came out with a message for the world.
I mean, what else could I do, right? At that moment, I couldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
And I never really even thought that this was a thing in life. And I think most of the community knows that, I worked in the field for 20 years. And I think when I first found out about it, I was devastated for all of my patients, more than myself, because I didn't know. And that's really how a lot of medical professionals feel. So I think the beginning of this, when people were like, why didn't they know? I didn't know. And I'm so loving and so passionate, and I want everyone around me to thrive, and I didn't know. So if like the heart and the love of what I do on a daily basis when I was in the field didn't know, can you imagine people that really don't care? And I think that
Wow.
one thing that a lot of people don't realize, and maybe in your mind, because we are such needing to see things, is that an environmental toxin is something similar to, like, say you get a piece of metal in your skin and you watch your body try and push it out and try and heal and try and push it, and it doesn't always work. And so it just kind of encases it in order to continue to protect itself. That's
Yeah.
what an environmental toxin is doing inside of your body, is
Yes.
it's trying really hard to get rid of it, and then it ends up not figuring it out, and it ends up fighting itself. That's autoimmune disease. And that's the situation we're all in. It's now gotten into your cells and your tissue and your muscle, and your body is doing what it's supposed to do, which is trying to heal itself, but it's not working. Someone asked, can a parasite cause UTIs and kidney infections? Absolutely, because those are your detox pathways that they can actually live in, specifically candida. So I do recommend doing ParaFy for a month, and then even coming in doing it like 2 times, and then coming in behind and doing MolDeze, because of the fact that I use like antifungal type of herbs in the MolDeze kit. So even though it's not necessarily just a mold issue, it's all about what herbs you're using to kind of push those out. So
And the MolDeze is all about boosting the immune system and
yes.
mitochondrial health, which is
Hmm.
cellular health. So using it along with red light, all of this can be so helpful for your entire system. It's not just about cleansing out mold. It does do that though. But I
Yeah.
love that you break it down in our mold episode. Someone said that the book you showed was
Oh
blurry,
yeah.
so let's show it again.
It's the lost book of herbal remedies. Someone said their ANA is high, and they can go in and you can look at different ailments. Like, this book is like my
I love
Bible.
that book. I have it
Yeah,
too.
it's the best. It's the best book. So you can go in and look at ailments, and it was a huge part of the ParaFy kit in this journey. And actually, I met a gal who's best friends with Nicole. And
Wow.
so I really wanted to see if we can get her on the podcast and what this all looks like for us. But the podcast, you guys, so we have some really exciting things in store that we
We
can
do.
talk a few things about. Sam's coming up, and we're going to take a little hiatus in August for a month, a break to end season 1 and start our second season coming
Yeah.
up. I
Of
can't
What's
even.
Eating You? What's Eating You? Season 1 is wrapping up, which is so wild. It feels like it just started. But yeah, we're about to wrap it up. And then we're moving on to season 2. And we are filming so much exciting content for you guys. We're taking you to field trips and new places that you haven't seen. We're going and we're going to be diving deep into the world of water. We're going to be
Mhm.
diving deep into sleep. Kim has finally convinced me to show you guys my ridiculous amount of things that I wear when I sleep. It's like, you know, those like memes, the videos people make, like making fun of like the people who do the unmasking when they wake up. I actually like live like that for real. So
Congrats.
we'll show you guys behind the
Yay.
scenes what we do to sleep well, because sleep hygiene is so important.
Mhm.
Water is so important, clean, high quality water. So we're going to definitely be sharing all of that with you guys, and we can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited about the next season. I'm excited about everything that What's Eating You is going to be doing and where we're going. I'm excited to see you because it's been a minute. I've been
I
on
know.
the Rogers Hood crusade, pushing Rogers Hood really hard because we've got something that people need to hear, and our company is thriving and I love it, and it's just a direct reflection upon all of us. So thanks
Yeah.
thanks for all of that
I
too.
know, everyone. Thank you so much for all of your support and tapping in. We love hearing back from you. I can't believe the amount of people since we dropped the mold episode have commented about how mold has absolutely destroyed or wrecked or affected them. Someone just dropped, shout out to Arizona Music Connection. They've been following me for a while, and they just said mold wrecked me and my son. Now he has autism, and been learning more about everything. Come back to toxins and parasites. What's the best method for parasite cleansing for a 4-year-old?
Us. So our kit is good for ages 3 and up, and it's real easy because we're tinctures, and you can variate from 5 to 15 drops, from 1 to 3 times a day. You put the binder at night, but you can open it and put it in applesauce because it binds even if it's in applesauce. And so we're a really gentle cleanse for children. We're one of the only cleanses I know that children can take. We also have a nut-free option. So I recommend 2 to 3 ParaFy kits prior to doing the mold kit because parasites hold spores. And when you're offing the parasite, you're dropping those spores back into your body, and then they have an opportunity to colonize even more. So I brought in some herbs like wormwood, help suppress the spores from continuing to grow while you're taking the ParaFy kit. And then you do that for 2 to 3 months, and then wait 7 days, and you can go ahead and pivot over to the MolDeze kit. You can also take the things that are in MolDeze, Immune and Recover. There's 3 tinctures in MolDeze, and you can actually add those into your ParaFy cleanse because Immune has mullein, and it helps break down the actual mucus even more, that is surrounding the mold itself. That's its actual biofilm that's around the mold. And so really the first step in all of this is to go in and really sweep out the parasites, grab the Immune, grab the Recover, go in. Recover helps with your hair and your nails and your skin because that was wrecked for me as well. I mean, I would say parasites were bad, but for me and Jeremy, parasites almost, or mold almost took us out. And that's because it really can go in and create this environment that you don't eat because it messes with your metabolism. It screws with your hair. It messes with your thyroid. Like I lost half my hair, and I mean, you can see the frizzy, but it's growing back, and it's
Oh, get
taking
out of here with
years.
the
Oh, it's
frizzy.
crazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's okay, but your hair is so thick, so long,
It's
so
so
healthy, so
much
beautiful,
better.
and we just
Yeah.
have to point it out because she's come such a long way. She said it was
Yeah.
almost to nothing, and mold
Yes.
did that. And we just want to say we're really sorry to hear about that
Yes.
for you and your son, but tap into these herbal, all natural, really organic tinctures and kits from Rogers Hood. They don't have any hidden ingredients. They're
Mhm.
not complicated. It's not such a harsh cleanse that you're going to have to stop living. And it's so simple and it's so effective, but it is gentle. And that's why we love it. So the ParaFy cleanse first, that's the parasite cleanse. Do a few of those. Someone says, can you do one after the other? Or do you have to wait a period of time? I personally, the first time I ever did ParaFy, when I was approaching 30 days, I was still seeing worms. So
Mhm.
common, like logically to myself, I was like, why would I quit now? I'm going to keep going. And I ended up doing 75 days straight. And by the end of that, my body was like, okay, enough, let's take a break now. I could
Mhm.
feel how I needed to take a break. So I say, listen to your body. For kids, do you recommend a break though in between, Kim?
I think that you don't have to have a break. And I chose the 30 days because more than that feels overwhelming for people because we've had some indoctrination with Western medicine and our mindsets. So I feel like if they're doing good, keep going. You don't need to stop if you don't want to, and you don't have to. It's not like it's 30 days and then you go beyond that and nothing's going to happen. In fact, a lot of times the 30 days continue. Yeah, if he has mast cell, we're really great with mast cell because of the way that we've designed the kit and the herbs that I've used. I'm real careful when it comes to mast cell. I also had that because of the fact that I had mold poisoning and Lyme. And I also had pandas, my friend. I see that there's some neurological. I think Arizona Music Connection, I think you should go into my profile and you should go look at Neuroveda, and you should take you and your son and any of your other family members to Dr. Juliana Giles. She specializes in all of this and she's my personal doctor. And I really, really trust her and recommend her. My whole family sees her now. So when you have neurological inflammation, that's pan and pandas, and it's really easy to go in and get other herbs to help with all of that in these modalities. So I just really think that it's a good connection for you to go and see her. She is a cash pay only just because she's natural doctor and like no insurance ever pays anything. But I do recommend doing a parasite cleanse with toenail fungus. Someone asked that just now. So I do recommend it because fungus comes from on the inside, and that is kind of a different thought process too when it comes to like mushrooms and fungus because they're on their own frequency. So yeah, I'm sure it's PANS and not autism. That can be very well be. I have pandas and I've had it since I was younger, but I just got diagnosed last year with it. And so it just light bulbs go off when you start looking at pans and pandas. And you're like, oh, it's just my brain inflamed. And Sam's
Yeah,
been here when I went through, I haven't been in a flare or had any issues
that's good.
in months. And so definitely Arizona Music Connection, deep dive into my profile, start
Yeah.
using those trigger words to go in and research even more than I use because that's where you're going to find the most information.
Yeah, and the reason that, so I noticed you said you guys are already doing like mold protocol and detox, and now you're looking more into parasites, but the reason that Kim suggests the order in which you do things is parasite cleanse first, at least a few rounds, and then attack the mold, is because parasites and worms hold on to mold spores along with heavy metals and viruses and candida and bad bacteria, and they build these homes in biofilm and mucus that like protects from anything getting in. So these organisms are holding on to like way more than their weight of these harmful things. You have to cleanse them out first because as they get unalived or are leaving your body or are in fear, the second that they do, they start to release all of this stuff. Like Kim has literally posted videos under the microscope of watching worms and parasites come into contact with different substances or herbs or like foods that unalive them, and you can see them literally, quite literally, start getting to paralyzed and then break apart and release offspring and mold spores and bacteria and toxins and viruses and all of this nasty stuff, waste that they're holding on to and carrying. So cleansing them out first, like get as
Mhm.
much of them out of the body as possible, then move on to mold because this is the correct order in which to do things. So definitely look into ParaFy immediately for you, your family, and your son for sure.
Yeah, they're a house, right? They're the house. The worms are a house to hold the viruses and the spores, and then when you blow that house up, the issue becomes like where does all of that debris go? And that's why it's so important to do a protocol. And I do know that's why a lot of practitioners are the ones that prescribe this and talk about it because you're more apt to have them follow your journey. But as we all learned, that's not always the case. They don't always follow what you're doing. And so that's kind of what we all are teaching here. Have you guys gone in when you're done with this? You guys need to go and watch Dr. Axe. That just launched today. And then also, we just launched the mold episode for What's Eating You. and any of the other episodes, make sure you always subscribe and follow, like and comment, because this is what gets us going more, is having that support in the back end.
Yeah.
So we want to keep pushing this content and allowing us to be able to talk openly and with transparency and be able to do these really cool field trips that we're about to do. So your support helps us in so many ways to do this. It
And
is, yeah,
share with
share.
loved ones. You do not
Yes.
know who needs to hear, but I, just from personal experience, the second I came into contact with Kim and the ParaFy Cleanse, I immediately called my friends, my family. I'm like, we need to do this. Like, we need a
Mhm.
parasite cleanse. Like, I have a friend who did it and saw a bunch of worms and all this crazy stuff leave her body. And I'm like, she's my age. She's my friend. She grew up down the street from me. We were like the same size. We're like this. I'm like, what's in me then? And so I just spread the word and I got it out there. And every single person who I put on it reported back that they saw worms leave their body. So just saying, share all of our content, share these conversations, share our episodes with your friends and family, because you really don't know who has all of this stuff and how and who can benefit from getting it out of themselves and how much better they would feel. I thought I was really healthy, and I was, to a degree. I was healthier than I would say even most for over a
Yeah.
decade, but I still was bogged down. And after I parasite cleansed, I couldn't believe the baseline that I had just been tolerating in life and
Mhm.
gotten used to, and thought that was just normal to feel that way, to feel fatigued all the time, to have all these major skin issues, to like have these digestive things and all this stuff happening in brain fog, and like getting sinus infections all the time, and just all these things, like really painful periods that were taking, like when Kim and I break down my cycle prior to cleansing, it was taking up half of my life. I would be 2 weeks out of the month in pain and so tired and like brain dead, and physical symptoms, and all of this stuff. That's literally half of a woman's life.
Yeah.
So all of these things improved for me after cleansing. Yeah, I know it can sound gross saying you, like, I know that that can sound gross, but it's actually more gross to have these things living in you.
Mhm.
So once you do see them leave you, it's not gross once you're in it. When you're in the cleanse mode and you become a part of the cleanse club and you're getting these things out, it's not weird or gross or scary. Prior to, I was definitely freaked out, and I was like, I know I need to do this, but I don't know what I'll do if I see something leave me. I feel like I'll lose my mind, and I don't know. I just, it was so scary. And I'm like, but it doesn't matter. We need to do it, obviously, and I did. And the second you get into it, guys, it's not scary anymore. And you don't have to look. Not
Yeah,
everybody
just
looks.
flash.
Not everybody looks, so it's totally up to you. Does each person need their own ParaFi kit? Adults, yeah. Everyone needs their own. I did see someone ask earlier for like kids, because the dosage can be less if they could split
Mhm.
one kit for two kids. And I would say, yeah, if the dosage is
Yeah.
less, if the dosage is like half or less, then yeah, 100%. Split it between your kids. Whatever you need to do to get going, to get it going, and get these herbs into your bodies and your family's bodies. Detox your kids using ParaFy. If you scroll up in the comments, we put the website up there. We put a code, What's Eating You. We spell it What's Eating and the letter U. And you can get 10% off all cleanses, kits, products, tinctures, binders at rogershead.com.
And now look, Sam.
Sometimes I'm like, how did I get here? I never thought. Are you kidding? I never thought I was going to be on the internet talking about worms leaving my nose, me
Same.
blowing worms out of my nose. I never thought that was going to be my life. But
It's
life had
so
other plans for
fun.
me. I
It,
didn't choose
yeah,
this life. This life chose
it
me.
did. It did. The worm queen slid into your DMs, and now look where we're at now.
But at the exact time I needed to cleanse, when I
Mhm.
met you, I was in the middle of like a 2 month long sinus infection that just was not budging and going away. I was overloaded with toxins and I didn't know it. I didn't know
Mhm.
it. I was overloaded
Yeah.
with parasites and worms, environmental toxins, and I didn't know. And yes, guys, yes, my nose. I knew it was
Yeah.
coming. I'm like, give it
You've been
about one
waiting.
minute. Give it 1 minute after I say the nose. I know there's going to be a comment. Yes, Yes, it's true.
Well, if you go back and listen to Sam last year at this time, or even a little bit before she cleansed, you can hear the difference because they're all up in here for her. You can literally hear the difference in your voice. And I was just thinking about that when you were talking. I was like, she sounds so clear, so good. Like it is really a mucus war, right? That you're
Yeah,
going
yeah.
in, you're like, get rid of it. And so,
Mhm.
yeah, your nose. And it really affects everything.
100%. And the reason, you guys, like, I figured it out. My body ended up telling me. But yeah, there were some absolutely living in my head and my sinuses and all in here. I know it because during my first cleanse in the middle of the night one night, I woke up to this wild pain, and like it was like almost like a lightning bolt right back here behind my left eye, like in my head. And I woke up to it and I'm like, what is that? And my body said, just relax. It's okay. Something is dying in your head right now. And I was like, what? And then, like, 2 minutes later, I just breathed through it. And 2 minutes later, my body was like, go blow your nose. And I did. And out came a worm. And it was not alive. So nothing that I ever saw leave my body was alive. The herbs really do go in and unalive them. So you don't have to be worried about something like squiggling out for the most part. It's very uncommon though. It's not as common. So
It's not
me,
as common.
for
It's
me,
not.
I've been cleansing almost 2 years straight, off and on, and I've never seen anything alive leave me. But yeah,
They've always been dead.
oh yeah, and over 100 have left my nose at this point, guys. And my body ended up telling me why. Part of it, yeah, there were some living up here, but really,
Mhm.
we have so many lymph nodes all right here, and my body keeps using my nose as an exit point for my lymphatic system. So your lymphatic system is like your sewage system of your body, and it like carries all of the waste. So yeah, they can come out and exit your body through any exit point. Kim has had a worm in her eye. Ears, Kim, have you ever had any come out of your ears? Oh Lord.
I coughed one up at the dinner table, and it was funny because, like, I'm going on the fourth year soon, and so I'm getting those on this day. And so I remember sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, the coughing of the one coming up is in like a month. And I coughed it up and it was like a hard squigglies, a bunch of them.
Oh,
I mean, it was just gross.
did you cough up or throw up eggs before?
Yes, I threw eggs up, which at the time was gross, but the first thing I thought of when I threw them up was that's a cycle that I don't have to go through now.
Oh
So
wow,
what
like
I
because those.
did was I did castor oil, peppermint, clove, and something orange on my neck. And I was and apparently whatever was going on, I just puked them all up. And then I felt so much better after. Like I never had that kind of a problem again. It was the
Oh,
grossest. It
oh
really was
gosh.
gross. I'm not saying this stuff isn't gross. It was really gross.
Why can we get these due to pets? Well, because pets have them. Pets
Mm-hmm.
have them. They're constantly in grass. They're constantly coming into contact. Like pets carry these too. You know how you have to deworm your dogs and cats. So yeah, you can absolutely get them from your pets. You can get them from other humans. You can get them from food, and not just meat, not just salmon. Believe it or not, guys. But not just salmon, not just fish, not just raw meat. No, you can get them from fruits and vegetables. And funny enough, even organic food. Because if you think about it, if it's not sprayed with pesticides, then they can absolutely be living amongst it. So it's
Yeah.
just you can really come in through water, our water source. In season 2 coming up, we're diving deep into the world of water. We are going to uncover everything for you guys. We're going to tell you the truth about the water quality in America and teach you how to get you and your family using the cleanest water that you can. So
Mhm.
you can acquire them through water too. I mean,
I
it's
did. Mine
yes.
mine contaminated our water in Hoodsport and also in Seattle. I've tested the water in both of the places.
Yep. What meat can you eat? Pasture raised meat. It's not that you shouldn't eat meat, it's that you just need to cleanse. So if you're cleansing, I would say, you can still keep eating meat if you need to. Parasites and worms do eat meat. They live in it and they eat it. So I tend to feel my best when cleansing when I stay away from meat, and then
Hmm.
I only eat it every now and then during the cleanse, and it's always the highest quality pasture raised, grass fed, grass finished. I don't eat any seafood during the cleanse because it's just like too contaminated at this point. But yeah, you can still eat meat if you need to. How do you do a cleanse? The ParaFy Cleanse from Rogers Hood comes with instructions. You go to rogershood.com. Everything you need to know is there. Everything you need to know is on Kim's profile and in her link tree. All of you that haven't ordered a cleanse yet, but you want to, you can use code What's Eating You, What's Eating in the letter U, to save 10% off all kits, cleanses, products at rogershood.com. How many MolDeze cleanses can you do back to back, Kim?
As many as you'd like. There's no restriction on the MolDeze. There's really no restriction on any of the stuff, but you can do back to backs with the MolDeze kit. It's also a mitochondria boost. So you're going in and boosting your mitochondria as well as pushing any spores out that you may have in your body. But I've been cleansing, I think I'm going on my second year. And so mold is a beast. And they said it can take, 18 to 24 months to rid your body of active mold. And I still have active mold. And I'm one of the most dedicated cleansers and modality users that I know. And I still have active mold, but I don't allow it to rear its ugly head to affect my life. I just know that when I start to feel a certain way, I'm like, maybe I'm busting up a cluster, maybe that's what is going on. And then I'll go and take some mold herbs.
And text me and be like, I passed something.
Oh my God. I passed something. Oh my God. Let's talk about that real quick because I don't
Okay,
ever
let's talk
talk
about
about it.
it.
I haven't even sent you the picture, did I?
No,
Girl,
which
I'll send
honestly,
it. I'll
you
send
you
it.
you
I'll
know
send
me.
it.
It's a hit or miss with me with these
Yeah.
pictures. But yeah,
What?
as long as it's not like
I mean, but
this
I
is why you're the
totally.
worm queen though. There can only be one, Kim, and I'm happy that that's not my role in life. It's like much respect.
It's the truth. It's the truth, man. It's
Yeah.
the truth.
It's a weird world we're in, and
We're in
we
a
a lot
weird
of us are
world.
don't know how we got here, but we do know that it's really, really powerful and important. So we're all about it, no matter the discomfort. Like we're all about it, getting the word out. In what way can you incorporate red light with the cleanse? Glad you asked. See this? This is a loom box.
Oh yeah, the
Obsessed with the
Loombox
loom
is the
box.
best.
I love the loom box. It has near
Mhm.
infrared and red light, and this is like, yeah, this is it. It's the best. That's what I use. Kim has a few different ones that she uses. Incorporate red light, honestly, with your cleanse, but
Everything,
really into your
all
everyday life,
day,
just for the rest of your life. Like get it
every
into your
day.
eyes. People don't realize how important that is, but the red light, your mitochondria, it actually affects through your eyes like more than anything. So
Mhm.
get into your eyes, like get red light on your skin, on your lymph nodes, over your liver, everywhere. You'll see Kim like in videos, she's just constantly using her red light wand. She's just constantly using it.
Constantly, and I can tell when I don't. Like the last couple of days since we were pushing this Dr. X podcast launch, which by the way, you guys, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. It just launched. It's so good. It's so
Yeah.
good. Use
And
X.
funny side note about the Axe reel that you and Axe are
Mhm.
on together today. It says, I got a parasite from my water, and I'm thinking this is so funny, more like hundreds or thousands. I'm like, who knows how many, but it wasn't one. Kim got overloaded with worms and
Yeah,
parasites from well water, which people think, I've heard
yeah,
just recently people be like, oh, I'm out here on this land with my family with well water, so we're good. And I'm like, no, do you know Kim's story at all? Like, dive in,
yeah.
because no, man. Can you completely be clear of parasites, or will we have to cleanse forever? So,
Forever.
yeah,
But
funny
not in a
enough.
bad way. It's not a
No.
bad thing. It's just 3 to 4 times a year is very manageable for people. We're exposed. I mean, if you're eating fish, sushi, undercooked meat, raw produce out and about, which I don't do. There's one time I did it, and it was a couple of weeks ago when I was on vacation, and I have salmonella poisoning because they don't soak the produce. You're exposed, you have pets, you walk barefoot. you breathe. Like, and they're airborne. We all share the same microbiome, that in the same household. So there's so many things that we're just wanting you guys to be proactive instead of reactive. And
Yeah.
that's what happened with me. I wasn't proactive about my health. I was reactive, and by the time I realized what was going on, it was almost too late for me. And
Yeah.
that's why this is such a passion of ours, right? Because you can prevent some things in your body if you know about it, and we just weren't taught, and that's changing. We want to know.
Exactly. And so another reason why you're going to need to cleanse forever, and it's totally okay. It's not a one and done, is not only are we constantly every day of our lives coming into contact with environmental toxins, mold, parasites, worms, viruses, bacteria, candida,
Hmm.
all the things. Not only are we always coming into contact as human beings living on this planet, but the speed at which the ones that are already living inside of you reproduce is unbelievable. So they really do reproduce fast. I'm
Hmm.
almost 2 years into cleansing, and I still every now and then will see some leave my nose, and I'll hit Kim like, I don't understand. Why are they still coming out of my nose? Like, why am I still seeing them after this long? And
Hmm.
she's like, they reproduce quick, Sam. They really do. Can
Hmm.
you give a little statistic on how quickly some of them can reproduce, Kim?
Well, a tapeworm can produce 1 million eggs a day and has 46 uteruses in one segment. So they're not just like popping one or two babies out. They're popping out massive amounts, and they're all somewhat microscopic. I actually learned a pretty valuable lesson on some video I posted about roundworm. They say most roundworm eggs are microscopic. Now, I don't necessarily believe that that's the case because I've seen it in multiple different ways. But if you think of a microscopic, it's very small, so they can just pop them out at an even time, and they want their life legacy to continue.
Their
And so,
lineage.
yeah, they want their lineage to continue. So when they feel threatened, that's the first thing they do. They start popping out their eggs, and they're like threatened by pineapple juice. They're
Yep.
threatened by pumpkin seeds.
By all
And
the herbs in ParaFy
mhm.
cleanse, and they're basically like, go on, babies, like live on.
Yeah. Oh
Carry on
my
our living. I'm out of here. Go on, like live. And it's just insane because it's like, gosh, you really have to interrupt the cycles. And a really good way to do that is to start cleansing right before the full moon,
God.
because
Hmm.
you really do get a lot more of them that way. I've actually done mini cleanses now over the full moon, and I have seen a nest leave my body and hit him like, how is this real? How is this
I
real?
don't know how
Why?
it's real
How?
some days.
Over 3 decades of my life, and just coming into the knowledge of it trips me out because I'm like, how do we miss this? How, this is such a big piece. It's a
Such a big
huge
piece.
piece. Love you too. We're so happy to hear that you have your first ParaFy cleanse on the way. That's amazing. We love you too. Thank you
Yay.
for being a part of this. They said, thank you for being this medical awakening.
Oh.
Because I've been battling candida for more than 10 years. I have too, girl. A lot of us have been
Yeah.
fighting
It's
candida.
so easy to get. Oh my God. Okay, I'm back to like the sacrifice. I can just see them in there like, I'll sacrifice myself for you. That's kind of what it is. They're
Yeah,
all
yeah,
in
yeah.
there. Like, I don't know. I'm just seeing this rowboat.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
oh
yeah.
man.
They're going down and they're like, live on. Like,
We're such
carry
nerds.
on. I know, because it's such a trip, like, and we've actually seen it under a microscope at this point. So
Yeah.
when you do see it, you're like, what weirdos, man, get out of here. Like, all of you have to go, you and your weird babies. Like,
Yeah.
get
Get out of
out.
here.
Weirdos, man. Like, they control you, they brainwash you, they
Yeah.
control your cravings, they control your energy, they vibrate at a very low frequency, they
Hmm.
hold trauma, they hold memories, they like, oh, I just remember before cleansing. even I remember speaking these words and using this analogy and saying to people, I feel like in life I've been working on leveling up for so long, but I keep hitting this ceiling that I just can't seem to get through. And
Yeah.
I didn't know why. And it was like, what is anchoring me down and basically like holding my frequency at a lower frequency that I just couldn't break free of? I had no idea I had hundreds of worms in me. Hundreds that I've seen. The majority are
Mhm.
microscopic that leave your body, but I actually saw hundreds. And the reason I use that number is I lost count. There's no way I could count everything I've
Mhm.
seen. Someone says their doctor said they have inflammatory arthritis from overactive immune system. Will your cleansing help their body with their pain?
Yes, it will help with the inflammation. It will help in your joints. It'll help push out any heavy metals. I use an herb called white willow bark, which helps with pain. And Oregon grapefruit is specific for inflammation. Ceylon cinnamon's specific for inflammation. So all of the herbs that I use were geared towards inflammation. But I also recommend getting the lymph kit first. It's LYMF, and that one helps with draining your lymphatic system, brain health. Some people saw more worms with it, but we also use sustain in the lymphatic kit, which has Oregon grapefruit. So it's kind of an
Mhm.
anti-parasitic kit as well, but like it's so good. It's so good.
It's very supportive. That's what
Yeah.
I love the lymph kit for. I was just traveling and I was in Arizona visiting family and I used it the whole time. I also used Immune and I also used Recover, but I was using Immune on the plane, right before the plane, on the plane, right after the plane, because I'm like, mm-mm.
Yeah.
I I don't always like to wear a mask. Like most of the time I don't, but I'm
Mhm.
not 100% comfortable being enclosed in a sardine can with all of these other humans coughing, sneezing, and breathing all the time. It always grosses me out and I'm very aware of it. So I'm just like, immune tincture, immune tincture.
You're like shield, and you're rebreathing the recycled air. I'm really glad that me and Jeremy don't get as ill as we caught illness from the food that we've eaten. We've been pretty good about traveling and not having
Well,
the illness.
that's a good point. I feel like at this point, y'all's immune systems,
Hmm.
you've done so much work, you've done therapies, you've done modalities, you've done all of these different treatments and things and all of the cleansing you've done at this point, and just the regular herbs you're putting into your system and supplements on a daily basis. I feel like your guys' immune systems are really strong, but it's the food we're focusing more on
Yes.
for you guys at this point to make sure you're not attacked through that route, you
Yeah.
know. Someone says, do you suggest everyone starts with the lymph kit, or what really say someone can only start with one kit, Kim, where would you point them first?
Um, Really the lymph kit, starting because it gives you the series of what it looks like to take the ParaFy cleanse. And I think it takes the edge off of the anxiety of doing a parasite cleanse, because you're going to see how comfortable it is to do a gentle, any sort of cleanse. So I created the lymph kit in order for you to kind of get and to see how our system works, 3 tinctures, 3 times a day with, or 2 times a day, but I
It's
definitely think,
prepping.
yeah, it's
It's
prepping and
prepping.
you're moving your lymphatic system. Someone asked how long I've been on this journey for. Since 2021 is when I went viral, but I started cleaning up my life in 2019. And so I've been on it for around 6 years now.
Mhm.
But, I was part of the Western medicine issue, and not necessarily me personally on a professional level. I did my best, but personally, I was involved. I had a lot of surgeries and I was on a lot of medications. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. I would say if you can get two kits, I
Mm-hmm.
would say get the lymph and the parafy. Like start
Yeah.
there, do like maybe like a week or two of the lymph. It depends on where you're at with your body. Like where are you already with sweating, with peeing and with pooping? Like, are you already moving regularly? Is your lymph already moving? Or are you a pretty like backed up like person? Are you sedentary? Are you, blocked up? If so, then like definitely more of the lymph first to get your system moving and supported and flowing and draining, and then start parafy. But if you're already primed to cleanse,
Mm-hmm.
I say, yeah, then still definitely grab the lymph kit with ParaFy,
You
but
can
go
take them
for it.
together.
Do them
Sorry.
together.
Yeah.
Do them together. If you feel like you're ready to just dive into the cleanse and you're already prepped, go to rogershood.com. They have a drainage guide, and they have a complete, like, they have all these free resources, by the way, guys. Like, you can keep asking these questions to us and we're happy to answer them, and we're always going to end up pointing you back to rogershood.com, because they also have a ton of free ebooks you can download to your phone and read everything you need to know to prep your drainage pathways prior to cleansing, how to have a successful cleanse. Like, everything you need to know is over there and it's all free. So definitely go get all of those ebooks so you can inform yourself, because the more educated you are, the more effective and complete and successful your cleanse is going to be. But yeah, if you can get more than one kit, guys, I say grab the
Mm-hmm.
lymph and the ParaFy and go for it. Like, go for it, man. Get the herbs in your body. That's the whole point.
Mm-hmm. What are binders? Binders are coconut activated charcoal, clay, anything that binds toxins. So you've got a negative charged herb with a positive charged toxin. They magnetize together and get pushed out of your body before it absorbs back into your body.
Cinnamon binder is so incredible. It is a powerful binder. I saw someone ask, like, if it's really good and powerful. It really does work. Yes, you need to be binding while you cleanse. It's a very important step. We're so you are
Yes.
so welcome. It is so our pleasure to come on here, you guys. Thank you all for
Mm-hmm.
tuning in, for supporting, for subscribing, liking, sharing. It really is because of you watching and getting the word out and sharing this with your loved ones that we're able to do this, and we are just so honored. It is such a pleasure to come on here and spread this information. I know, like, a lot of people are like, this is so crazy and mind-blowing, I can't believe it. And I felt the same way at the beginning. I still am tripped out to this day about this, but it's a very important message to get out there. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for supporting What's
Mm-hmm.
Eating You. We love you guys so much. There's so much to come. This will be posted as a replay, so don't
Yeah.
feel like you had to remember and memorize everything we said. You can go back and listen to it. We're also going to be dropping it on YouTube, so tap into What's Eating You. We're on all streaming platforms, everywhere podcasts are streamed. Tap in, subscribe, share, and like. We love you guys. Be well, be healthy, happy cleansing.
Thanks, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.